Why is it allowed? And later in the day, of course, they're going to extend even further. And what's the point? Honestly, look at all these men. There must be 150 men here from the MMDA today, plus the 2 SWAT teams. And you know what? If you ask the guys from the teams, do you want to clear this? They say yes, but they're not allowed. Good morning everyone, MMDA back on the road. Right now they're going to issue tickets to these jeepneys. They do consider it as an illegal terminal. If you look just behind these jeepneys, there's a big sign that says all PUJs, no loading, unloading, waiting. When they spoke to the driver of this jeepney, he's been unable to show a license, so it's actually going to be impounded. Unfortunately, it's quite common for jeepneys and tricycles to be driven by people that never even got a license. Imagine this is such a wide road, but a lot of the time you just have one lane here, one lane on the other side. So you have an 8-lane road down to 2 lanes. Incredible. And then people say, hey, why is traffic so bad? Well, that's why. Look at this on the other side in front of Max's. It's even worse. And this is really what it looks like most of the time. What you see in my videos is normally a cleaned up version, because the vendors find out the MMDA are going here and then they're like, oh, we better make it look good before they get here. And aside from all the stores here, if you go onto the private property of Max's, you'll see a lot of people are actually like living there, sleeping there. See this? And when we asked Max's before, do you allow this? They said no, and that's the reality. The barangay are just as involved in this as the vendors themselves. You see they've even got mini canteens and everything they need is here. They pee into bottles, they poo, well, you can guess where that goes. They eat here, they sleep here, and yeah, welcome to Baclaran. This is the footbridge that people use every day, and of course when they come down they're met by vendors. Right now not all of the stores are open, so it's a little bit more space than usual. And even behind the little police station here, there's beds where people are obviously sleeping. And of course Calorum electric tricycles are a growing problem in this area. And the interesting thing about those e-tricycles is they appear to be parking between the police station and the MMDA station, so it's impossible that people haven't noticed it. And they're just coordinating now with the SWAT team, so everyone's on the same plan and knows what to do. And the MMDA have actually given a certificate of appreciations to the SWAT team here because they've always provided so much support. It's a nice little token. You'll see more vendors are now rolling away. They were stationed in front of 7-Eleven and BPI. The thing is, when you make people roll away, what's changed? Nothing. They're just going to roll back later. So as you can see, it looks relatively clear, and actually a bunch of commuters coming past said, wow, it's so clean today. And that's the thing, this is not how it normally looks. I'll cut in some pictures to show how it usually looks. The thing is, the barangay are highly organized. They have spotters all around with radios updating each other. They bribe people, hey, tell me when an operation is coming. They regularly try and negotiate with different people inside the MMDA. The barangay have full control over these vendors. If they want the road clear, they clear it. If they don't want it clear, they're here. So yes, clear for now because they know the MMDA is going here, but as soon as the MMDA leave, everything comes back into the road. Although the vendors aren't in the road, they are still on the sidewalk, and that's why there's a lot of people here walking in the road. The thing is, they've made negotiations where they're allowed to use the sidewalk as long as they allow a certain amount of space, but it's not enough space, and later in the day they just extend into the road anyway, so it doesn't matter what you negotiate with the vendors because they'll do what they want to do. According to the barangay captain, the last time I spoke to him, all of these stores here are for his barangay tanods and other barangay employees, again on the sidewalk, selling all kinds of things, cell phone accessories, brand new jeans, fake sneakers, everything you can think of. How can you call this a livelihood program when you're selling cell phones and cell phone accessories? And if you look down this road here, you'll see this is where the vendors have temporarily stored all their stuff. The thing is, they shouldn't be on this road either because they're causing congestion, and as soon as the MMDA leave, they'll bring all of that out. And if you look over here, you'll see another road that's completely occupied by the vendors. Again, there are stuff, there are stores down here until the MMDA leave, then they'll bring them out again. I just spoke to the head of the sidewalk clearing, Francis. I asked him, how about these stores here, are they allowed? He said yes. You know what that is? Well, I won't say it on camera because it's a bad word. The reason why they allow it is they say, hey, pedestrians can pass through here. Really? They're going to pass through a 1-foot narrow space? And even this is normally blocked. It's only because they see the MMDA here that they're kind of making a little bit of space. Absolute nonsense. And over here you'll see the classic pee bottles that the vendors leave here. And if you look on the floor, that's also urine. Absolutely stinks because they pee here, they poo here, they sleep here, they eat here, they live here. and they don't care about the area. They just trash it, and it's all about the money. Over here, more stores being rolled into a small side street, and over here a bunch more stores in the road. They look like permanent installations, and if you look later in the day, you can only just about fit a tricycle through here, or a pedicab. You can't fit through a full-size vehicle like a car or a truck. If you look behind all those stores, you'll see a lot of people sleeping also and hanging out, and usually this would be obstructed, but again they've made a little bit of space. Apparently this is allowed also, so what a joke. Again, instead of confiscating items like this, they're just letting the guy take it away, so that will be reinstalled later. And if you look over here, more stores selling fake sneakers and things like that, and again it's allowed, although they're meant to have their opening on the other side, not on this side. But again, it doesn't matter, because whatever they promise the MMDA, they just do what they want. Over here by the entrance to the LRT, same thing, sidewalks completely gone, selling fake DVDs or pirated DVDs, and you might have heard that in the background. Don't touch it. It's allowed. Why is it allowed? And later in the day, of course, they're going to extend even further. And what's the point? Honestly, look at all these men. There must be 150 men here from the MMDA today, plus the 2 SWAT teams. And you know what? If you ask the guys from the teams, do you want to clear this? They say yes, but they're not allowed. And as usual, there's just garbage everywhere, pee bottles everywhere, running electric into the middle of the road. Of course, a lot of them are jumpers, some of them are legitimate supplies. These have been reinstalled so many times. I've lost count of the number of times these people have reinstalled the wire. See, right now there's a bit of a tug of war because the team wants to confiscate it, but these guys wants to keep it. And where does the wire go? It goes all the way back there. I wonder if anyone's paying for that electricity. And look at this. It's like a mini network factory, except it's all power cables. So many electrical cables that they run all along the road. Actually, this guy's been in many of my videos before. He's had a few tug of wars over these electric wires. For whatever reason, the MMDA aren't cutting these ones down. They're letting the people keep them, which means they're all going to be reinstalled. You'll see the SWAT team are standing by. They're stationed all around just in case there's any problems, but I don't suspect there will be because they're not doing anything. Over here, more sidewalks obstructed. You'll see people walking in the road. Even this man here that's on crutches. So good luck if a vehicle comes along. If you look behind all those stores, there's meant to be like a lay-by road, but it's completely occupied by stores. And then later what they'll do is they'll bring them out and they'll put them here in the middle. So you'll see all these stores here in the road, and if you look at where pedestrians are supposedly meant to go, or if you want to access legitimate shops, well, take a look. There's not much space here. Yeah, no wonder the shops are complaining. Wow, they even have Aladdin already. There's actually a sample of the movies up here. That's Captain Marvel on the right side. On the left, maybe, oh, what's that, Transformers. And in the middle, I'm not sure what movie that is. Looks like X-Men, but I'm not sure which one. You would think they would confiscate all this metal that was used to extend the shop over the sidewalk. But again, they're just letting the business owner deconstruct it. And unfortunately that means they usually just rebuild it when the team leave. Some small sections of sidewalk have reappeared. Well, can you call it sidewalk? It's only like 2 feet, but the rest of it, well, not so much. Some of the store owners have just straight up refused to clear the sidewalk. You see some people covering their faces now. They're basically saying, no, we're not going to clear the sidewalk. So these ones, they're standing defiant, and nobody's going to stop them. That's the reality. They already know the MMDA aren't willing to confiscate or penalize in any way. What you'll see here is everyone walking in the road. Why? Because of course there's no more sidewalk, fully obstructed by the vendors. Even the road itself obstructed. They've now decided to ask the vendors here to roll away so people can come down from the train station and pass through. But again, it's just temporary because rolling away, they know already, roll away, roll back. So you have to wonder what the purpose of this is. This guy here is from Task Force Baclaran, but they're very much involved in what's going on here. Anyway, you'll see just behind him where he was standing, there's a bunch of stalls in the road, and he's explaining to the Task Force commander why these are allowed to be here. Why? Well, just because the commander of the task force didn't agree that these are allowed to be here, so he's telling them now to move them. But of course they're just going to roll it away. So same old story, roll away, roll back later. While the team continue forward, I'm actually going to go backwards and see how it looks on the areas that they already cleared. So it looks like most people have extended again. So a lot more stores in the middle of the road here. So this is the reality, that without confiscation, without tickets, without any kind of penalty, they don't take the MMDA seriously. And look at this guy from the barangay. You can see it's already becoming more narrow. There's more vendors on the road over here. This is on the roundabout, and interestingly you'll see the electrical wires on the floor coming over here, and I wonder who's paying for all of this electricity, if anybody. Oh, and I forgot to say, those vendors aren't being cleared. Apparently they're allowed to be here. It seems like everything is allowed, so you wonder why send so many people here? And the guys, like I said earlier, they're willing to work, they're willing to clear all of this, just give the order. And just further down the road, you'll see again, of course, the roads have been taken over by vendors. All the sidewalks are gone, the center island's gone, all the corners, but I don't know what to say. This was all fixed before, and then something happened. I don't know what happened, but everyone came back. These ones here are actually officially permitted by the city government, so there's nothing the MMDA can do about those ones. But the rest of these, most of them are unofficially allowed. Officially not allowed, but unofficially certainly allowed. Believe it or not, behind all these vendors is actually a bank BPI, no way to get to it. Before, the team were clearing all the vendors here, but for whatever reason today they're not clearing them. And you have to wonder, like MMDA, they've been doing really good with traffic enforcement and things like that, but when it comes to Baclaran, they just seem unable or unwilling to deal with the problem. So the MMDA are actually meant to be here from 6 AM to 2 PM. But I don't plan to stay. It's another 4 hours because nothing's happening. I'm willing to go here, even with the threats. I'm willing to go here if people are doing something, because I want to show, hey, someone's trying. At least people are trying. But unfortunately, nothing's happening today, and it's not because the men don't want to. It's because they're not allowed to.